7 p.m. Tuesday, January 2nd, 2018, episode number 623 of Yeah Dude. My name is Jonathan and this is Seth. Happy New Year, Seth.
Welcome to 2018.
Welcome to the Terror Dome.
Like I promised you.
Welcome to the Terror Dome.
Told you we'd get there.
The Pleasure Dome. Happy New Year to Seth. Happy New Year to you listeners. There was the scariest New Year's Eve gunfire I've ever heard in my
hood
this year. And oddly, I have a friend that I work with on another comedy podcast. No, I have a friend that I work with at the shop that he was filming something else entirely. We live let's say maybe a couple miles away from each other.
Okay.
Just to give you a scope of.
He was filming on New Year's Eve?
He was filming a guy in his in the front of his house, basically trying to ditch a taco truck. Like park a taco trailer and like beat up old one, dilapidated one, and like ditch it in front of their house. So he was like, oh, no. So he's filming him because he's like, I need evidence that this guy's like going to abandon this thing here. And so he's out there filming.
Abandoned forever or just
I think his assessment was he was going to just dump it and it was never going to leave.
Yeah.
So he's filming the guy just so he has some evidence, but the dude winds up, maybe because he's drunk or maybe just because he had no idea how to park a trailer, he, for like almost an hour, is trying to get this thing into a parking spot and can't do it, and eventually gives up and just fucks off because he's, one, being filmed, and two, is probably doing something he shouldn't be doing. But while this is transpiring, some of the gunfire that I experienced gets on his phone, and he played it for me tonight.
Documented.
And just so I was like, I wasn't tripping, and he was like, Jonathan, it is like you hear like firecracker, firecracker, firecracker. You hear boom, boom, like you hear like big firecrackers,
big cats,
like big ones, and then you hear like. I mean, it sounds like it sounds like the video from the Vegas shooting. I mean, it's like somebody like
something's happening.
It's like and it is. The sound is like the crack is
unmistakable.
Even amongst all of the other explosions, this one, it's like you stand straight up, and we heard it 2 miles away from each other. We heard the same one, and it happened like, and then I was so close to it, I could hear kids screaming in joy. Like,
loving it.
Immediately after it was happening. Like their cheers would go up in volume and in pitch every time the guns went off, as opposed to the fireworks. So it's like, all right, well, you don't really care about all the colors and the fizzies and shit. You really just want that clack clack, that shots fired.
And the 80s were cute in the 80s.
No joke, dude.
Could you? I'm trying to watch Dave Chappelle. Could you please turn that down? They said no.
I said I didn't go out. Did you go out?
No, sat right
Where
here. Some Martinelli's. Hit some Chappelle with some Martinelli's and brought in that New Year.
How was the Chappelle?
They were fucking great.
I was playing a video game.
That's how you bring in the New Year.
I've been playing the same video game.
Oh, you're like in a first-person shooter game?
No, I wouldn't call it that. It's a third-person shooter, I believe. It's not a shooter. It's the greatest game ever invented.
What's that?
The greatest game ever made.
Arkanoid?
I got a Nintendo Switch for Christmas. And with it, my mother and father also bought me the new Zelda.
So let me get this straight. You're a 40-year-old man.
I am.
Your mom and dad at Christmas.
Mommy and daddy.
Your mommy and daddy wrapped up a Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
And they said, hello, 8-year-old boy. And you're like, I'm 40.
And I was like,
and then you like ripped it open and jumped for joy.
Literally the only thing I wanted. And I didn't ask for it. So they were like psychically knew, like this fucking little little kid wants a fucking Switch. I can tell by fucking bearded
8-year-old, 40-year-old, 8-year-old bearded face.
Gold tooth.
Bearded 8-year-old face.
Pirate face tells me he wants a glassy-eyed pirate face. Definitely wants dog. It's no
It's
joke.
like a dream, huh?
It's the greatest game ever made.
You've become enveloped in the game.
Yeah. I'm fully immersed.
It's your life.
I
To pull you
Let's
away.
put it this way. Since I got it, just on a law of averages, since I got it,
Okay, on Christmas Day.
I
Monday
started. No. I started playing the night I got home.
Oh, Christmas Eve.
No. I got it on Christmas.
Okay.
Christmas
Left your parents.
Christmas evening, not the day prior to Christmas Eve, but like on the night after eating and hanging out with my family, I came home,
Installed it.
immediately hooked it up, started playing. I've seen the sunrise more times than when I was doing cocaine.
In this one stretch.
Well, let's just say, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
cumulatively over, yeah. With it, when I was doing the most cocaine I had been doing, I would maybe see the sunrise
let's say
3 out of
5
7
consecutive mornings.
No, God, no. I would say 3 nights, 3 days, 3 sunrises over a week.
3 sunrises over a week. The Jonathan Larroquette story.
This has been
This is
5 sunrises over a week.
good
at
morning,
least.
like the birds.
Like I seem to play my best somewhere
Devin, from
between
3 to 7?
No, like around 5 a.m. I hit a
5,
zone, and
you're
so
just-
I make some good
You got
strides.
strides.
And then as the birds start to really get loud, I have to lock myself down.
You have to shoot them with your BB gun. I'm playing.
Dog, this game though.
Wow.
Yeah, went to see Star Wars then a day after.
So
I mean, it was just,
everything's
like, very full circle.
Yeah.
It's a rebirth, maybe,
if you will.
Yeah,
New year, new you.
New
And by
year,
new you, I mean you.
old you,
Old you.
Baby you.
8-year-old you.
kitty you.
Star Wars and Switch. It's a 40-year-old man.
Star Wars and Nintendo, dude.
Wow. Star Wars and Nintendo.
Sobriety's a bitch.
Sobriety'll get you.
Then, on the flip side of that, the 40-year-old midlife crisis me, in between that
Yeah.
Switch, Star Wars, I go to finally pick up my motorcycle, which I take possession of on New Year's Day. About 8 minutes after I drove it off,
Okay.
I dropped it.
Dropped it.
Dropped it pretty good.
About a mile. About a
No,
mile.
oh, I had-
2 miles.
A few miles.
4 miles.
Not in a
max.
good place to lie something down. I didn't lay it down. That might be too strong a word. I was making a slow speed, very slow, too slow. That's the problem. The slow speed maneuver that I miscalculated, not knowing the bike very well, and chose to sort of run it into a curb rather than try to brake and almost for suredly lose the back end of it out. So I tried to essentially get myself off the on-ramp. It was a freeway on-ramp to protect
California
myself.
freeway on-ramp.
Yeah, so in order to protect myself from
Your
being
body.
hit, I sort of got myself off of the on-ramp as opposed to kind of doing this and readjusting. I got to the curb and dropped the bike.
Okay.
And then in more childhood sort of thing. So then I kind of deal with that, get home, have a complete freak out, like internal, like, what have I done? Like, why are you doing this? And like, why have you spent so much money on this motorcycle? One, not that it was so much money in the grand scheme, but more than I should have spent on this bike. And then what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Like your leg is, I mean, my leg was like
Rash.
I mean, I could show you, right? Hold on.
Well, that's probably better. More switch time because you have to. Oh, dog.
I mean, it's like it took my jeans out.
You
like,
weren't wearing shorts.
No, I
Just
was wearing
went
like
through
thick
pants.
thick pants,
Thick cut.
They sliced my fucking bottom
Right open.
So Jesus calls me and he's like, "You get the bike?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Got it. Yeah.
So he's like, "Let's go for a ride."
Yeah.
man.
Really?
So I'm like, I was like, there's a couple of things, which there were a couple of queries about it, that I think, man, maybe I was
Like, how do you ride it? One. It's my one query. How does this work?
And so
Turning. I mean, the
it
turning.
was left turn,
Just going straight.
left turn,
Not a problem.
Right turn's fine.
Yeah.
Left turns.
If
not
I'm
so
going
much.
like from A to B in a straight line, kill it in a parking lot. It's the life thing.
So he's
Maybe
like,
you should get a Switch game, like a motorcycle game, and practice, like Spy Hunter practice. Do they make that for Switch?
so he's like, so let's go for a ride. And I was like, like I'm just kind of tripping about some of this stuff, and I don't know, blah,
About
blah,
Star
blah.
Wars. I'm just tripping out about this new
Still
Star
thinking
Wars,
about-
so I'm gonna just mull this over for a little
So
while.
he's like, let me come over. And so I was like, all right, fine.
Oh, fuck.
So he comes over, rolls up on his bike.
Not a problem. Pulls left in. Easy. That's an amazing left.
Stop. You're killing
Like, where are all
me.
these frozen peas like on the counter for? No, I don't. I love peas. I love peas.
I'm a pea guy.
I'm a pea guy this year.
Always have been.
Oh, 2018 is the year of the pea.
And so he's checking it out. I mean, bike looks amazing. Guy's done a very nice job with it. Truth be told, everything, all the questions and queries I had, I've answered myself, and the guy is just anyway. So he's like, "Let's go for a ride," and I was like, man, I don't know, like whatever. And I think he can tell that I've sort of psyched myself out a little bit, and I was like, "Do you want to ride it?" Like, and he's like, "Yeah." So he gets on the bike, takes off. 10, 15 minutes later, comes back, and he was just like, "This thing's fucking awesome. Your bike is amazing." And he was like, "Let's go for a ride." So we do. And so I take it to Malibu and back. And so in keeping with my childhood, I go to my childhood up home on this motorcycle, 40 years old, ride up the PCH. And I go directly to where I used to go every day of my life. And I go there, and it is the most affluent. First of all, it's New Year's Day. And it's like a kids' park surrounded by shopping places and restaurants. You know where it is. It's where the...
I'm talking about Malibu Country Mart?
It's Country Mart. So we ride to the Country Mart, and we get there, and there are literally 15,000 people there. It is like nothing but like Saudi Lamborghini, like princesses and shit. It is like... in another stratus. It was like kind of trashy when I grew up there. Like, truth be told, it was beach
beachy
bums with some rich people that lived in the hills, but a lot of bums, and then also like straight bums that lived within the beach and the campground and shit. And they were just like,
maybe get like a burrito.
we went to John's Garden. Whole point was to go to John's Garden, which is like this health food shop, restaurant, cafe thing. I get there, run into somebody I know, not from Malibu, from LA, who's like renting a house there. And I was like, "You rent a house here?" I was like, "I fucking grew up here. Like, fuck you. Locals only." And so go home, kook. So, so I was like, "You've been waiting for your food?" And they were like, yeah. They were like, "We've been waiting a little while." So I was like, well, fuck, man. And we go in, and it is like a line around the block for John's Garden. I was like, this world is over. But I'm walking Zeus around, and I was like, that used to be the old cinema. And I was like, that's where my sister's boyfriend used to work, at the Straw Hat Pizza. I was like, they used to spit in people's drinks there. And I'm like, having
You crying at all?
I'm near tears.
Yeah.
Essentially from the point that I dropped the bike.
Yeah,
I've
so
been
they're
near
just
tears all day long.
6 ibuprofen,
But not from physical pain, from just emotional, overwhelming.
I'm also thinking about the Switch at home.
Really missing Zelda.
I could see Star Wars again too.
It was a fucking epic, blissful, incredible ride back and forth.
I mean,
I mashed out. I fucking splitting
back.
lanes. I'm in
let's take another left, Zeus. Why?
Because I love
Because
lefts.
it's awesome.
I love lefts.
Lefts 2018.
3 lefts make a right.
Come on. So it sounds like you kicked this year off.
No, it's not 3 lefts. It's 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 3 rights make a left.
Oh, snap.
Right?
Loud pipe
right?
save lives. I don't know. It sounds right.
Well, I came up with that, I think, when I was a kid. Because
you invented that.
I was stoned in a car, and somebody was like, 2 wrongs don't make a right. And I was like, but three rights make a left. Because if you go right,
I'm with you.
Right,
Boom,
and
boom.
then right, you've essentially... No, you're going
Maybe.
straight again.
Yeah, he goes 3... anyway, weed! 2018! Sounds like you started the year off epically.
It's...
righteously.
And then,
that's how you do it.
Somehow, I've also moved into this... The narcolepsy from Zelda has now put me into a zone that I had to get up so early to pick up my bike on New Year's Day. I'm up at 8 and 8.
Now you're back.
Between 8 and 8:30 in the morning, and I'm having beautiful weird dreams.
Yeah. Oh,
The last 3 nights.
dreaming again. REM
I've
sleep.
been having dreams, but these are epic, long, sweet dreams. Waking up at a somewhat human hour for the first time ever. So I'm now trying to cut my fucking Zelda playing off at about 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Cruising in. The only issue is I don't leave the house.
Yeah,
Except to ride a motorcycle.
Except to ride the
out.
bike, make
That's
lefts.
it. Make lefts.
That's how we do it.
Sobriety's crazy.
It's amazing. It's a killer. No, it's a
liver.
It's a liver. I went to buy a fucking joint this morning.
A weed
because
joint.
I can.